Hello, I am Brother Kelly Hughes, Chaplain of the Arts. We are broadcasting live to tape from the Valiant Theatre here in the heart of Winnipeg's greasy tenderloin. This is Kelly Hughes Live, Slice's Fringe edition. We are broadcasting on 101.5 UMFM, normally every Saturday at 1, but all throughout the week during Fringe. We're also on YouTube, where you may be watching us, and we will be on YouTube from now until the sun swallows the earth. Thank you so much for stopping by. And thank you to our guests for stopping by. Tamara Robert, Patrick Hercamp, and Brad Torres.
That's me.
How y'all doing?
Doing good for midway through the festival. Some of the weight of it is now finally being like relaxed. and so, yeah, just getting a good rhythm.
Yeah. So the thing I ask, because not everybody knows who you are, so tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're based, why you exist, and then give the elevator pitch for your show.
I'll start.
Yeah, you look like you're ready to go.
Oh, I'm so ready to go.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're game time.
I am Tamara. I am based in Toronto, but I lived in Winnipeg for 9 years. So being back here is so sweet. I'm getting to connect with people that I have loved for millions of years, it feels like. I live for love. My show is Lover Girl, and it's all about weird love stories that are complicated, messy, and will make you believe in love again.
Patrick Hercamp from Seymour, Indiana. I'm here doing a show called Fake Spear and also another show called Filthy Fake Spear. One is a family show. The other one is how to make a family show. Fake Spear, I do a Shakespeare play in a vaudeville style. Filthy Fake Spear is essentially a Renaissance Fair pub crawl show done in one location with the audience playing along with us, doing dirty jokes, dirty limericks, dirty pickup lines, and whoever tells the dirtiest joke at the end of the show or by the end of the show gets a prize.
And that was all you had to say about yourself? Was that your name was Patrick and you were from Seymour?
I have freckles. I'm a Capricorn.
No, come on. You were in Sound and Fury for a long time.
I was in Sound and Fury for several years. This will be my 16th year coming back to Winnipeg, and I'm going to Saskatoon soon for the very first time, and also Edinburgh again, reluctantly, but I will be there. So, yeah.
Brad, what say you?
That's awesome. I wish I had more of a touring schedule than that, but or than what I have. But my name's Brad Torres. I am doing Sounds from the Meat Machine, which is a lecture-style show about the human origins of music. And at the end of the show, we collaboratively write a song together. It's very fun.
And you said even less about yourself. You didn't even say where you were based.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
You just were like, it's just getting worse and worse.
You're so right. Yeah, I'm based out of Houston.
Yeah.
I was from Kansas City originally. I actually participated in the Kansas City Fringe Festival for I think 7 years.
Yeah.
This is my third Winnipeg Fringe, but it's the first I've done in about 7 years since 2019.
And when were you here last, Tamara?
For Fringe, 2010.
2010.
I know, it's been a minute.
Because just time is a flat circle. I find it very confusing. I'm like, I'll go to message somebody and I'm like, oh, I haven't talked to them in 6 years.
Yeah.
And I don't really know how that happened. I think it's this,
One of the beautiful things about Fringe, though, is we do this festival, we do our shows, we have a great time with one another, and then a full year can pass, and then we just kind of pick up like nothing's happened.
It's always like a mini reunion.
Yeah.
Like Penny Ashton, for instance, I hadn't seen her for almost 10 years, and last year I just ran into her on the street, and it was like no time had passed at all, and we just like picked up chatting again like it was nothing.
Yeah. That's carnies for you. Have you, now Tamara, so you haven't been here in 16 years. Have you been at other Fringes since then?
No. I stopped fringing because I started teaching, and I didn't have enough time to actually perform and have a practice and teach. So I let go of performing altogether, and then we closed our teeny tiny little school in Toronto, and I decided to go back to performing.
That's interesting. Somebody else Well, TJ's back this year.
Yeah.
He's been. I didn't even realize he was here until I looked in the program. But like he, was gone since 2022. Jim, not here this year.
He's on a beach somewhere.
Finding himself or on the
Right,
top of
right.
on the top of a mountain.
Desperately missed. Yeah.
In some of those, like one of those silent monasteries. I'm not sure how he does with silence because I've never heard it from him. But
Right.
maybe maybe he's good at it. Who knows? So this is your first year back fringing. Have you done any before Winnipeg? Or?
I was in Regina,
Okay.
and I've got 3 more after this.
Okay.
Nice.
So how does it feel? You feel a bit rusty, or you feel pretty good, or?
It feels different, like so different than I did when back then.
Yeah.
I also, because I'm so longing to connect with the people that I have loved here.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm half fringe and also half visiting with people. And my parents live here and I'm trying to connect with them. And so it's it's kind of a weird, I'm half in fringe and half not.
When did you live here?
I lived here from 1998 to 2008.
Because I'm trying to remember. You didn't do a venue show at my place. That
Yeah,
was
I
what it
did.
was. Okay, yeah.
I did Psycho Bitch at your place.
Yeah, right. Which was like 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. Sorry, I'm just.
Time is a flat
I'm
circle.
just like,
It feels like yesterday,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. But you've been able to. You're kind of hitting your stride a little bit and sort of, getting back in there. And
Yeah.
You're not. Probably not spending every night in the king set is what you're saying, because
Not at all.
because you gotta,
Because I'm also old. Like
hang out with your
16
parents.
years have gone by, and I'm
Well-
like, I need to sleep.
Some of those guys can do it.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
don't know,
one of
maybe
them.
these guys. I don't know. Martin always seems like a game timer. I don't know. Yeah.
No, it was weird because I had been gone for about 5 or 6 years as well until last year. But I put on about 50 pounds and I look like a normal person now because I used to be so thin. But I came back with my beard grown out, and then I can't remember who it was. I go, "Oh, you're a man now." And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I'm just somebody in menopause now. That's what's happening.
Okay, I'm deeply curious. You said you were a teacher. What did you teach?
I trained psychotherapists.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was actually amazing.
As one does.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. How do you guys feel about psychotherapy? Good.
We all need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It should be everywhere and free, but psychotherapists should also be paid well.
Yes,
Yeah.
both things are true.
Both
yes.
things are true. Yeah.
Yes.
I have a great therapist that I've been seeing for about 8 months, and I've been going to therapy like for a long time, like years and years and years, and that probably like the first person who's actually ever helped me. So I feel, but the funny thing is the person who I was posting about, I had this sort of bad. I talk about everything on social media, and I was posting about this bad experience I was having with this therapist that I tried in the fall, and I went there about 3 times, and it just sort of wasn't. When you're starting something new, you're like, well, I better just give it a chance, and maybe it's just me, but like at one point I like froze up and couldn't even speak, and she just sat there and looked at me. I assumed she was looking at me. I had my eyes closed, but she wasn't saying anything.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of like, okay, well, that's her time for today. So then the next week I asked her about it, and she was like, swear to God, she was like, well, the therapist can't do all the work, Like, well, you're not doing any of the work. But anyway, so I was posting about this, and a friend of mine, who his girlfriend, who I didn't know, does what you do, and she actually suggested. I feel like she said she did. She I don't think she's allowed to like exactly like refer. You know what I mean? She just suggested. They found a way to suggest somebody to me who ended up being very good. So, so that was really good because when you've got a great therapist, it turns out it's great, and when you've got a terrible one,
Oh yeah.
it's sort of like, I don't know.
Kind of awful.
Yeah.
We did a therapy session on stage years ago.
Did you?
I was doing a show with John Bennett, and the audience had kazoos, and they had a menu of what they wanted us to do. Like they had options of like different show ideas. It was a new show. It was John Bennett and Patrick Hercamp, and a new show, but different. All of our train wreck show ideas in one setting.
Wow.
And so they would like blow the kazoo and they'd say rabbit night. And then if they got sick of that, they'd blow the kazoo and we would do something else. Yeah. And one of the options, it just said therapy. And so they blew the kazoos and then somebody goes, therapy. We go, are you sure? You want us to do therapy? And they go, yeah. I go, John or Pat? And they said, Pat. So John went and sat in the audience and I just sat on stage and like looked at the crowd. And then somebody goes, what are you doing? I go, trying to do a show. Why? It's the only thing I think I'm good at. I don't think I'm good at anything else. And it's like, and they started talking about like my mom and everything else.
That's brilliant.
And then somebody blew it. And they go, "This is sad." like, move on. And so then we moved on.
It sounds like a bad version of the Gorilla Show.
Which the Gorilla Show was one of the options for
Good.
our show, and the audience blew it. And we said we have to get the majority of you guys to agree to this one.
Yeah.
And they agreed, and we stood them all up and Pied Pipered them across town to our secret location that we knew where the Gorilla Show was going to be going on.
Wow.
And we had to like call in some favors and be like, hey, it's happening to make it set
wild.
up. And it's happening tonight, the Gorilla Show as well.
Yeah.
So at King's Head, 11 p.m. This will be aired after the show.
Yeah, maybe I'll try to get it up before 11.
I feel like something that isn't talked about much is the fact that like the relationship with your therapist is like you can have you can not connect with them and that's okay because you'll connect with someone. It's just like a friend and that's okay. Like you know, you need
you have to be a good fit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's
Yeah, well, and my therapist sort of has been, it's been 8 months, and I feel like probably 80% of the stuff that she said has been things that I've heard from other people, but she's just taken the time to, she's just kind of read me and taken the time to kind of do, like I'm very cynical about all the tricks that they do. This is kind of the things like, you know, okay, now I want you to put your feet like this, feet firmly on the ground, and I want you to just take some deep breaths, and I want you to notice what, and I'm so self-conscious. I'm just like, you know, after they're like, what were you thinking? And I'm like, I was thinking that you're sitting there 7 feet away from me staring at me, and you're going to ask me at the end of this, how am I feeling? Literally was the only thing, you know. So I was finding it very hard. So she's done some different stuff, which I appreciate, and I do think you need to build a relationship.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so, and I kind of feel like, I don't know. I thought, you know, I bet that she thinks about me sometimes when she's not at work, which I like that. I thought that's nice. I appreciate that, and I know that she does because something happened to her, and she said, "Oh yeah, this is just like what happened to Kelly," and so I thought that was great because some people it's like such a weird thing because you're letting somebody in and you're paying them and you're kind of like I don't know. I'm just always kind of like very like I'm paying them and there's this clock and it's, you know, so
it's the weirdest intimate relationship you ever have, unless you're with a sex worker, which is another intimate relationship that's strange, but it's got some commonalities of like there's a time limit, there's an agreement around payment, but there's an intimacy that's incredibly deep, especially if the relationship is there. But then it does carry over. Absolutely. I think I carry my clients with me, but it is this strange relationship that we all agree to.
Yeah, like my real therapist is he's in his late 70s, maybe early 80s now. His name is Butch. He's a former rocker from the 70s and like used to be like a heroin addict and and he's a like a Peabody award-winning author. But he and I hit it off so well that we were just like buddies at this point because we're just chatting about our day. And then he goes, "Oh yeah, you're paying me." Okay. So then, like, how are you doing? Like, what's going on in your life right now? Like, what do you need to talk about today? And like around Christmas time, like he's in, like I said, late 70s, early 80s, and he'd gotten the Oculus virtual reality headset, and then he called me and he goes, "How do I use this thing?" And I was like, "Are you paying me? Because this is my time right now."
Good answer.
That's
Good question.
yeah, yeah. I had a similar experience with my my psychiatrist because we had a rule that came into effect recently that was like once a year at least you have to have like an hour-long session, and she was like, "I need you to come into the," because we usually do telemedicine, right?
Yeah.
So she was like, "I need you to come into the office and we'll do this." And it took like 5 minutes, like we normally do. It's like, "How's your medication working? You know, how are you feeling?" All of that stuff, and then I thought it was the funniest thing. She spent the next 55 minutes just like complaining about politics. And I was like, never expected this. I love it though. I'm here for it. Yeah, let's vent about politics. Hell yeah.
Must be a bit of that. I mean, there's a lot to complain about in the States. So,
Yeah, unfortunately.
even we're complaining about it up here. It's not even our country.
Yeah, I was sitting in
Is America okay?
I'm trying to get out of there, so like I've been slowly moving to Australia. So
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Somebody else just got their who was it? Somebody else just got their Canadian citizenship. Her parents, or one of her parents, was from Canada. Susan Jeremy.
okay.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, yeah, the people that can. How do you have people from Australia, or are you just trying to?
So I go there every year anyway for the Fringe, and my parents are passed away, and like my adopted mom is a lady there that has always treated me really well and like sort of been a surrogate mother at times. And I fell in love with somebody from there as well. So I've been trying to get over there without, locking it down.
Yeah.
So
Well, you wouldn't want to do that.
Me personally, I just want to be in international waters. Give me the cruise ship life.
Have you ever done cruise ships, Brad?
I haven't yet professionally performed on cruise ships.
Okay.
I've been on a couple of them where I go up and I talk to the like pianist that's working. I'm like, "Hey, I'm also a pianist," and they're like, "You want to do a few songs?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I do."
Nice.
And that guy just goes and has a bunch of drinks. He
Oh
doesn't
yeah,
care.
they go and take the break that they're not allowed.
Yeah.
I'll be doing my first cruise line in 2027 for the Renaissance Festival cruise.
Amazing.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is fun.
Amazing. Where does that go?
I don't know.
I think it's Caribbean.
Yeah, it'll be like Cabo and like.
So sometimes it's not safe being on a ship, because if everybody gets sick, then you're stuck. But I mean, the U.S. is just a big ship full of sick people right now. Anyway,
Oh
so
boy,
you may as well be anywhere else.
ain't that the truth?
yeah,
You think that vegetables are safe,
the
right?
good old Taco Bell lettuce.
Yeah.
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 Oh.
I stopped going to Taco Bell just because I thought, why am I going to Taco Bell?
Yeah.
I'm better than this, not that much better, but just a little bit better.
Yeah.
How does it feel, Brad, to be back after a few years? Do people remember you? Did everybody forget you? Are you still a Fringe celebrity? What's going on?
Okay, I don't think I was ever a Fringe celebrity. But I will say I am so heartwarmed and pleasantly surprised that a bunch of the people that I met very casually the last couple of times I was here remembered me. And because the first year I was here, I came with Pat, I came with my stage mate Ryan Adam Wells. We did Castaway, a musical parody.
I played the volleyball.
Yeah, Pat was our Wilson. And so that year especially, I definitely felt like I was the tag along. They felt like the Fringe celebrities. They both did Sound and Fury, and so it was like Sound and Fury, and also their friend Brad. And so I didn't have a lot of expectations about people remembering me, and shame on me because a lot of the people that I've run into, at worst they would be like, "You're familiar, remind me your name,"
There's not I can't think of many constituencies that are more passionate than a Winnipeg Fringe audience.
Yeah.
I have a friend who literally does not do a single arts thing all year, and then when it's Fringe time, he tries to go to see 20 or 30 shows, and He's running around, and he's, he'll text me like, okay, I'm going here now. Okay, and I only see him once a year because I see him, but he's so, and he likes certain things, just won't go to other things and whatever. But like just so into it. And there's people that, John and Marsha Gordon probably.
Mm-mm.
Anyway, they're like Fringe super fans, and they, I feel like she's an accountant or something. They'll like figure out what they're going to on a literal spreadsheet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Forget the marked up, program.
Yeah.
So
our friend Lillian has that the full notebook of like
yeah,
Wow.
and like codified where
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
oh, if it's an exclamation mark,
Yeah.
that it's a must see, and there's asterisks and
yeah, because there's a bit of like, because if something's sold out, then it throws your whole thing off. So
Yeah.
you gotta,
Like my billet last year saw over 60 shows.
Holy.
And he rides a bike everywhere as well. So
Yeah.
like lock his bike up and then he'll go in and like for the French district. So he went.
Boniface,
Yeah, so he went there and just spent his day going back to back to back to back
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can maybe see 3 shows in a day, and then I'm kind of done. I can't. I feel like it's sort of, I don't know, too much. How many shows do you think you can see?
One.
And it's the one you're in.
I have such a hard time. Like, even if it's a theater show that I really want to see, if it's a friend of mine that I know are good, and I will just start nodding off. It doesn't matter how good the show is. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, as soon as I'm in darkness, I just sort of like,
Is it because you're go all the time? You
I
don't
think it
sleep
has
enough?
to be,
Like,
maybe it has to be
I'm
that.
asking because I've done the same. I've done the same thing. I was falling asleep last year during this at CCFM. There's that big theater that's like 285 seats, and there was a guy doing a mime show, and there were like Sunday afternoon, 6 people in the audience, and I was falling asleep, and it was not. I mean, it wasn't the greatest thing I ever saw, but it wasn't really him. But there's like no talking, and it's dark, and I'm in a comfortable seat, and it's. I feel like it's maybe something to do with my ADHD. Like, as soon as I stop, then I'm just like literally just 2 speeds on or off, and nobody's going to ask me anything for an hour. There's no, I can't look at my phone. There's nothing to do. There's no actionable items for me, and I just like turn off like some kind of a service robot. I think that's maybe.
I'm that way with like movies as well, like a movie cinema. Like, I'll just start going.
I much more frequently enjoy what I'm going to if I'm going with people.
Yeah.
Now that isn't to say I haven't gone and seen some shows completely on my own. I'm probably with you though, like maybe 3. I would say at most 4 I could probably handle in a day. But the days that I'm doing a show, that I'm performing, are the days that I'm more likely to go and see a show.
Really?
Strangely.
Why is that?
Because I'm already out and about. Like
Okay.
I think, and I have like ADHD as well. But if I don't have a reason to go out, sometimes I get stuck. Get stuck at home. But like going. There was one show. The only reason I saw it was because I ran into friends. And they said, "Oh, we're gonna go see this show. Do you want to come?" And it was the best show I've seen so far. And it was
One man
no show.
Oh yeah. Isaac's
Phenomenal. So good. So silly.
So
Tamara,
good.
how many shows do you think you can see in a day?
It depends. If I have a show, that's not a good day for me.
Yeah.
So I either have to take a little bit of a break after I perform and then go out to see shows, but I can probably do 3, and that's a good number for me.
Yeah.
But I like the conversations afterwards as well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to just do show. I want to be like, what did you get out of it? Or what did you like? Or I love the communal aspect of like talking about what we just experienced.
Yeah.
Well, and this is why I love doing things like this, because I used to write little mini reviews and do this and that, but I thought, well, nobody needs more reviews. What would be interesting is if people could hear, like, what's this person about? Are they interesting? Oh yeah, that Brad seems interesting. Maybe I'll maybe I'll go see that, like, and not even just like talking about your show, but just like, is this a person who I think is,
As a human.
yeah.
Yes.
And also it's also an opportunity for people to, like, you guys hadn't met, so it's an opportunity for people to sit. This is why I was saying, Patrick, like, I don't really want three people from the same show, because when I get three people from the same show, they don't have really anything to say because they
Already know it. Yeah.
And so you don't have different people doing different things that maybe don't know each other, different perspectives. Like, it's just so interesting, and that's also the ADHD brain thing where I need the thing to be entertaining.
Yeah.
So I like kind of putting people together. We had Diane Jorge yesterday with TJ, and we talked about the Enneagram for, like,
Oh, yes.
I mean, and I brought it up. Don't blame TJ, but
But I'm sure he was happy to oblige.
yeah, no,
He's lovely to listen to about that.
Yeah. Have you seen anything yet?
Yeah, I've seen quite a few things. I have seen Isaac's show.
Yeah.
I've always loved Isaac, especially like when Isaac and Ken would do a 2-man no show. So I loved seeing 1-man no show. Who's Gonna Push Your Wheelchair is one of my favorites right now. Karen is so lovely.
Yeah.
Who have I seen? Oh, I just went to see a Fenny last night. Powerful performance. What an incredible presence she has. So incredible. So and now I'm blanking on other stuff.
That's pretty good.
So back to Isaac's show, 1-man no show. So I can't remember if it was last year or 2 years ago. He had booked it, and it said it was sold out because he had to cancel his run.
Yes.
And I thought he did it on purpose. I thought he booked into the festival just to get in the program and have 1-man no show, and that was the bit.
So meta.
Yeah. And I was like, that's
God.
great. Like, that's hilarious.
What a great, so committed to the bit.
Yeah.
Just on the same vein as the gorilla show. Yeah.
Even better, though, because it literally doesn't even exist.
That's awesome.
But I did a serious comedy with him this year. Like, we were both guests on it, and I told him that story, and he goes, "Oh no, there's a show." He goes, "I'm here this year." I go, "All right, I'll go see it."
I've had lots of those people on. Adam, I think I really like what Adam's done with doing his show with
Serious comedy.
Quinn.
Yeah.
Quinn.
Yeah.
And I just think that's neat, kind of the cross pollination, because often like there's often like lots of locals who don't really go anywhere. And then there's the traveling carnies, and some things are a bit sort of exclusive, like the cabarets, just out of town people, and so I like that that he's done this thing where it's sort of people from all the.
I got very lucky. The serious comedy, the show that got reviewed was the one I was in with TJ actually, and that was super fun. That is such a cool concept. I've also been very lucky. Pat is doing his Filthy Fakespeare. I've been able to guest on that a couple of times.
Nice.
It gives me a breather.
Yeah.
Because there's like only because the whole point is to have the audience jump in and do it with us, and they're so scared of doing it. So like opening night, we're like, if you have a toast, if you have a dirty joke, a dirty limerick, a pickup line, whatever, hold up your glass and say a limerick, and then do one.
Right.
And nobody wanted to, and then finally Andrew Silverwood, who's in the show with me, goes, "Anybody ever been on a bad date?" And these two girls go.
Yep.
And he goes, "Do you want to talk about it?" And they say, "Sure." And they go, "Can we get on stage?" And we go, "Absolutely." And they got on stage and like passionately told the story.
Yes.
And after I was like, "Are you a performer?" And she goes, "No." And I go, "You should be." But she just commanded the stage as this audience member. That then, as soon as she was done, a guy raised his hand and goes, "A joke," and then it opened the floodgates and everybody was able to do it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Break the seal.
Yeah.
Have you seen anything?
Me?
Oh yeah. I've seen a lot. Obviously, Fakespeare and Filthy Fakespeare are both really good. Serious comedy is such a cool concept. False Prophets.
Oh, Jeff's.
Jeff Laird's piece is just wonderful.
I saw John Bennett's Hercamp.
Yeah, same, yeah. Everything John John. I think I've seen. I was talking about this the other day because one of the people I was talking to was saying that they think the performer for whom they have seen the most unique shows was Martin Dockery.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, I think mine might be John Bennett because I've seen now Hercamp. I've seen How I Learned How to Hug, My Dad's Deaths. Like,
Yeah.
I went down the list and I've seen probably like 5 or 6 of his shows.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, talking about the guesting. One of the shows I saw last year was the can't remember what it was called, but it was like the one woman romance novel.
Oh, Holly?
Yes, Holly.
Yeah.
Thank you. And she would have guests every night, and Martin was a guest when I just happened to be the guest when I was there, and I had never really seen him. I've seen him at the cabaret and stuff, but I'd never really seen him just in somebody else's
Right.
thing, going along with what they're doing and kind of being loose and all that stuff, and it was very, very funny.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And a show like that is going to be different every single
time.
time.
When I first met Martin Dockery, it was about 16 years ago, and it was in a tent, which is a big camping tent that had about 15 of us in there. And I just met John Bennett as well. And so we're doing this circular story where the subject will be fire. It's like Ryan Wells sang a song about fire. I told a story about how I used to dig holes in our backyard and set things on fire in it. And then Martin had to tell a story, and Martin is a very energetic guy.
Yes.
And John Bennett made him sit on his hands to tell the story. So Martin Dockery is telling the story, sitting on his hands, but he can't not move,
Yes.
so he looks like a snake. He's telling these stories, and it's so lovely.
That's great.
And
One of his shows, I don't remember what it was, but one of his shows, he sits there and barely moves.
there's the one where he has the cowboy hat, and it's all in dark. And then bursting into flames as well is a good one.
But I remember that because I remember that he was just sitting there and barely moving, and but everybody was completely dialed in.
And that's talent right
I
there.
think it's that show's called the Dark something, but he sat with just a microphone.
Yeah.
And,
Wow.
Is it the long
Well,
night? Is that one?
He's one of those guys. He carries around 7 or 8 full shows in his head
Yeah.
at any time that if he had to do it, he could just kind of run through it a couple times in his head and he would have it. And that amazes me. As a person who I was always the last person off book. I always always get yelled at by the director because I couldn't and when I have the dream, the dream is always that the show is about to go on and I don't know my lines because I haven't gone to rehearsal and I spend the whole fucking time looking for a script. Yeah. And also my costume, that's often a part of it.
I think I only have one upgrade slot in my meat machine for a show at a time. So it's I feel like I if I put the time in, I can learn it well, but I can't hold multiple shows in there.
As an ADHD person, do you when you're up there for an hour, do you ever lose focus? Do you ever find that you're up here watching yourself and you're like, oh, my mouth is moving and I'm talking. That's interesting. It's not great.
Autopilot.
It's not great that I'm over here though.
So you just described how I dream. I dream in third person. It's insane. But part of the reason I wrote the show that I wrote for this year is it's beats, it's bullet points, right? And so I don't have to deliver the lines exactly the same way because I'm communicating information, right? So as long as I get the information across, it doesn't matter necessarily the wording. But I've definitely been there where I'm I'm on autopilot. I'm saying what I'm saying. I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah, Patrick never forgets anything because
I don't stop. So it's once the show gets going, there's no breathing. So it's just me going. But there was a show with Sound and Fury at a Ren Fair one time, and so I was playing Juliet. So the balcony's here, and I've done that show, or at the time I had done it so much that it was autopilot, but it's comedy. So I'm hitting the beats, smiling when I smile, fake laughing when I fake laugh. And there's sometimes 800 people in the audience for the show, but there's one sliver of people that can see behind the balcony right there. And so it was like the 2000th time I've done Juliet, and I'm delivering the line and everything, and like blah 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 blah, punchline, and then I would sit down behind the balcony, and just that people could see me and me going like, I fucking hate this job, screw this. I go, nah, like, and they just see me like just moaning, and then so I'd stand up, and then I would smile again, and then I'd go back down. I was like, oh, I hate this. And like,
That's wild.
You ever have a bad onstage experience? You ever forget what
my
you're
God,
doing?
yes.
You ever?
Well, what's happening right now, the show that I'm doing right now, I rewrote 7 weeks ago.
Okay.
So I tore it apart because I was like, this isn't the show. I've got to rewrite it. So there are still moments where I'm like, I'm just going to ad-lib a little bit here. I'll get back to my place. But it's 5 stories. So there are 5 stories that are in my life that I know really well, but I've written them in a particular way, and I want to deliver them in a particular way, but I've given myself room. Now, where that gets complicated is that I do have cues. And so I've had to have this like lovely conversation with my tech TL and be like, I love you, and if I lose a cue line, please know that's on me, because I am still, the show is actually still becoming. And it's getting like beautiful response from the audience, but it is still this becoming creature because she's 7 weeks old. It doesn't feel like that on stage, like at the reaction that I'm getting from the audience, but inside of me, I'm working.
It's I love it. I do a bit of writing, and I like it when you just see that the thing is kind of taking on a life of its own, that you didn't really. You're like, well, this is not really me. This is what it's doing, and I have to kind of help, shape it and whatever. But this is exactly what it's doing. This is so. I like that, because it then that whether people like it or not, or whatever, it's doing what it's supposed to do.
Exactly.
I also love the idea of having, because my show's very much like this too, having that sort of collaborative relationship with your techs to be like, hey, we're creating this art piece together. Like some of these, the lines might not be exactly the same, but you'll feel it. And we'll feel it out together. Like you're a professional in what you do, and we'll get there.
Yeah, and I've had amazing experiences with both techs that I've had now in Regina and in Winnipeg, where we're flowing with it, and I just trust their instincts. It's been beautiful.
Awesome.
It's amazing how many people there are that are sort of, when people go to see some shows, they're thinking about the performers and the whatever, but there's so many people that are, the techs are directly involved, but there's so many people that are sort of fringe adjacent and kind of performance adjacent and kind of that kind of go all the way out here that make it like, Fringe wouldn't be anything if all you guys just showed up,
right?
As great as you are, so it just has, and it is a thing that has a life of its own, that's doing what it's supposed to do.
Like I've always, even if I'm in like a bad mood or something's going on in my life, I try to still be professional and like, all right, now I have to actually be acting because like I'm in a bad mood. But there was one time where I just completely gave up, and we were doing an improv show. I was in England. I was going to school there, and we were doing a game called Innuendo, where it's just like, so I did this the other day, if you know what I mean. Right. I did this the other day, if you catch my drift. And we were firemen, and I'm the only American in the cast. It was me and all these other English students, and I fully didn't know that Dalmatians aren't a thing for firehouses. Their trucks aren't red. So they're like, so how's your day being? I was like, I'm just counting the spots on the old Dalmatian, if you know what I mean. Nothing.
And no one did. It was not even a single entendre. It was zero entendre.
And then like they're telling a few, and after like the fourth one of just silence, I go, all right, I'm done. And then like one of the guys goes, so what are you doing this weekend, Patrick? And I said, I'm going to kill my wife, if you know what I mean. And he goes, what? I go, I'm going to stab my wife with a knife, if you catch my drift. Like it's just like full on single entendre the rest of the show. And they're just like, what? And so I'm just like derailing it because I'm just like, I just gave up on life and that show. Anyway.
And nobody wanted to do anything with you again. You broke all the rules of improv.
Yep.
Well, what?
Oh God.
we aren't always able to do all the things that we want to do. As you've been, being a professional actor or trying to be a professional actor, or maybe during the pandemic, I want you to think about the worst thing you've ever had to do for money. Because I'm sitting here, and not if it's like if it's the sexual stuff, you don't have to.
Yeah.
It's fine. You can keep that to yourself. But I'm sitting here and in like an hour, or no, actually, right when this is over, I have to get in my truck and I have to go, and somebody's moving back into their house, and somebody else was living there, and somebody unplugged the freezer a few months ago, and it was full of meat, and there's a home inspector or something coming tomorrow, and these people were like begging me, could you please come take this freezer away? So I'm gonna have to go and like figure out a way how to move this thing and then take it to the dump in the morning, but figured how to get it out of there without getting meat juice on myself, which is not. I would rather just be sitting here doing this. But does anybody have like a, what I mean? We all had to like do stuff that.
Do you know, I was a therapist in the pandemic, right? And that was like something that was wild to be living in it, especially in the beginning stages where we had no idea what was going to happen, and to try to support people through something where you're like, I don't know what's going to happen. I've never lived through this before. You don't get training for how to support people through a pandemic. And one of the strangest questions I had to answer was, what are we going to do when all of the grocery store workers die? And I had to stay with that person in the fear that they had, because it was very real for them. But it was like, I was very privileged to have that job, because my job, I was busier than I've ever been. But it was also weird.
My partner is a catastrophizer, so I've had those kinds of conversations, but I'm not getting paid. So, I mean, I can be a little bit more, I'm not unsupportive, but a little bit more blunt, and, that those people aren't going to die, right?
Well, and as a therapist, that's not how we're going to go. But it was just an interesting thing all throughout of like, I would come out of my bedroom, because I was doing therapy virtually, and sit on the couch, and then I would see a commercial about the pandemic, and I would start crying, because while I was with my clients, I could be the strength, but then as soon as I would come out, I'd be like, oh, this is also happening to me. I don't know what's going to happen. It was weird.
Brad, you said you do your stuff remotely with your psychiatrist. Is it like video chat or just phone?
Yeah, video chat.
I can't do any of that stuff unless I'm in the room. I find it like impossible. So during the pandemic, when in here anyway, like all the therapists stopped seeing anybody, and the therapist I had just started seeing, I'm like, well, when are you going to see people again? And she's like, when they have a vaccine. And this was like, and very early on, and I'm like, they're not going to come up with a vaccine. Nobody's ever come up with a vaccine for a coronavirus. So I found somebody who would see me as soon as people were able to see people again, which was fine. But the problem was, she ended up being an anti-vaxxer. And it was because that was, that's who you're going to get, right? The person who doesn't care, an old hippie who is, Brad, worst job.
So I've had a few rough jobs. I make a joke in my show about how, when I was in high school, I did all of this music stuff. I was in band and choir and everything. And then I went to a conservatory to study music. So what's the first job that I took when I got out? Naturally, working in biotech for 11 years. But even as rough as that was, as a sort of born artist stuck in a field that I was just there to make money. Honestly, one of the worst jobs that I had was trying to do music lessons. Because after I moved to Houston, after my biotech stint, I was a music educator for 9 years. And trying to do music lessons remotely during the pandemic, woof, that was hard. Especially the latency, the delay. Trying to do vocal lessons and piano lessons and stuff, and I'd have to be like, no, not that key, no, hey, not that, yeah, sorry, okay, it's the other key, there you go, yeah, that, oh my gosh.
I had a lot of respect for the people that were trying to keep things going during the pandemic, but we we paid. Sorry, I keep touching it. We paid to see a burlesque show that they had done, and it was all sort of like canned. It was all canned bits. So some of them, a couple of them were okay, a couple of them were not. And the person who was hosting it, she was doing it live, and I'm watching her, and I'm like, I've been in her house, and I'm like, she's in her fucking bathroom in Lindenwoods doing this thing, and it was and they had forgot to turn off, like when you're in a meeting and they've got all the pictures of all the people, and they had forgot to turn one of the guys off, and there's this kind of like middle-aged guy sitting on his couch drinking a beer, and I thought, oh my God, I hope they turn that off before he puts his hand down his pants. And then somebody figured it out. But it was just like painful. The whole thing was just painful. Like I said, good for them. Like I understand why everybody was trying to do that. But did you do some of that?
Not during the pandemic, but the first thing that came to my mind is I used to be a paper boy. It was my first job. And I realized one day, I just won't deliver these and I still get paid. And after a couple days of our neighborhood not getting their papers, they called my mom and she said, "Have you been delivering the papers?" And I lied and said, "Yeah." And then like Dennis the Menace, my mom opened my closet and thousands of newspapers just fell out onto the floor.
That's amazing.
And I go, "Ha!" And I ran outside and hid behind the barn. That way I wouldn't get in trouble.
Well, your first problem was you don't shit where you live, right? You were doing that in your own neighborhood. You should have done it in somebody else's neighborhood. And eventually your closet was going to run out of space for newspapers, right?
Wasn't thinking that. Yeah. I was just like, all right, these fit.
Did you get fired?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got a job on a strawberry farm, and the crop rotation was strawberries, and then sometimes it was pumpkins. And some of the pumpkins were still around, and I got in an argument with one of the other boys there, and I threw a rotten pumpkin on him, and then I got fired.
So is this the main reason why you've had to pursue the arts, is because you're such a terrible employee?
Probably, yeah.
Unemployable anywhere else.
Well, not like, so I was an agricultural engineer before, like that's what I was going to school for. That's what I had planned, specifically for entomology, like the study of insects and like pesticides. And then a buddy of mine named Doug that I used to play Dungeons and Dragons with, ladies, he was going to school to be a theater director, and he was doing a play called Arsenic and Old Lace, and somebody dropped out like a week and a half before opening.
Yeah.
And he was freaking out, and he was begging one of us that we played with to do the play with him, like to fill in the Einstein role, the Peter Lorre role. Yeah. And I go, wow, I can't do that. He goes, I've seen you play goblins and stuff. Yes, you can. Curtain call happened, and then afterwards I talked to my father, and I'm my dad's oldest son, and I go, Dad, I think I want to be an actor instead. And he goes, well, Pad, we got 6 of you. We can risk one of you doing it. And I had never flown in a plane. I flew to England and studied.
Wow.
So he was supportive.
Yeah, he was.
Was your family supportive, Brad?
Generally, yeah. My parents did the like scared parent thing of like, make sure you have a backup plan, but yeah, generally. And like now they're really supportive. They love like,
now that you're good.
I mean,
they were hedging. Now they're out on the ledge with you.
Honestly, I think it was when I stopped having art be a hobby that I was demanding for them to take seriously, and actually turned it into, it was like, hey, this is what I'm doing to make my living. Then they were like, okay, cool, let's come through, let's. But they were really supportive when I was like in school.
Tamara, has your family come to see you here?
No, they decided they didn't want to.
Okay.
It's actually quite beautiful. They did not want me to go into the arts at all when I was growing up. My dad wanted it to be, something smart, not something that I would struggle with. But in this iteration, I do tell stories about my family.
Okay.
And they were like, we want you to have the freedom to tell the story that you need to tell. And we also are protecting our own hearts around it.
Right.
It's a very tender story that I tell about my family, but
you're not throwing shade at them for an hour.
no, it's actually because I'm telling a complicated love story.
Yeah.
I'm telling a complicated love story between my parents. My father's a Baptist minister.
Yeah.
I am me, which is not that.
Yeah.
And I'm very different.
Yeah.
And, my partner and I are poly, we're queer. Like we've got some differences along here. So, but it's it's a lovely, complicated story about really trying to love my parents, even though we are so different.
Like my dad was supportive, but he just never understood how it worked. I guess would be the best way to explain it. Like, I do theater, obviously, but I've also done TV and I've done movies. And I did a TV show that involved, I was in it for an hour, and there was a sex scene in it.
Yeah.
Like, there was a sex scene. And so after it aired, I called my dad, and I was like, hey, so did you see that TV show I was in? He goes, oh, yeah, Patty, I saw that. That was pretty good. Hey, that girl that was in that, so did you get with her? And I go, well, Dad is acting, like they got a script, and he goes, oh, I mean, I understand that. That's the script, and somebody wrote it, but like, so did you? I had to be like, no, Dad, it's completely, I was dating someone at the time that he knew very well.
He's the worst intimacy coordinator ever.
Yeah.
So you guys are gonna get together.
You must have really done a good job. You must have really convinced him that there was chemistry there, right?
I guess.
See, and I feel like the not understanding, that's kind of where my parents were a little bit. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people from my hometown were like that because the translation of like, oh, I want to go into the arts was, oh, you're going to be on Broadway or in a rock band or in the movies,
Right.
Or fail.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
it's the top of the top or nothing, and it's like no, like. I jokingly used to say, in high school, I was like, what do you want to do? Do you want to be on Broadway? I was like, I want to be a lounge pianist on a cruise ship. Like, that's what I want to do. Yeah. That's a working job right there. Like,
you'll get there. You'll get there.
Like, so I grew up in Seymour, Indiana. So the song "Small Town" by John Mellencamp, that's my town.
Yeah.
It's a small farm town. And trying to explain to people what I do, and they're like, so you make a living doing this? I go, yeah, I have for 16 years. And like, and I used to live in Los Angeles, like, you're able to pay rent in LA. And I go, yeah.
How often do you get home?
I just went back home. It used to be just a couple days around Christmas time.
Yeah.
But the Southern Indiana Renaissance Fair just popped up, and they moved it to my hometown. And so it's in my town. Yeah. And so I'm out at Swifty Farms, where I used to work in high school as a horse farm. And I'm there with my audience, and I say, I just came in from Australia because I was there for a couple of months. And I was like, I'm the only stage act at this festival who, one is a Hoosier who's from Indiana. Yeah. And I go, and I'm the only one from Seymour. Yeah. And I go, we have acts from all over the country. Yeah. And the last thing I expected after performing in Australia was to come back home at Swifty Horse Farms. Yeah. And like I pointed, I go, you guys see that pool house up there? I go, so the manager of Swifty Horse Farms, his daughter is now married to my agent, and she was my best friend for years. I've known her since we were 10. Yeah. And I was like, you see that pool house? I used to play Dungeons and Dragons there every single Friday night for years. And here I am right back at it.
Such a strange homecoming, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. I don't know. My mom is 96, so she's pretty out of it. So I don't really have to have any. I don't ever have to explain anything. I mean, to her anymore, except like, where do I live and why do I live there and where are we going now? But we did have a 96th birthday for her a couple of months ago, and my family's like hardcore evangelical Christians, bonkers. So I mostly don't even talk about anything that's anything, because I'm just like, I have the people that I've surrounded myself with are interesting people who are, you don't have to explain how things work because they know how things work. Yeah. So you don't have to spend like half an hour like trying to explain like the basic thing. And and it's just kind of nice. Like when I end up in like a dinner with some normies or something, I just want to fucking die. Like, I can't, I can't. Like, and part of that is just like being, because my partner and I are poly and queer too, and I'm just like
Yeah.
I can't talk about any of the things that we would normally talk about.
Yeah.
And I like to, when I'm bored in a conversation with people or a gathering or whatever, I like to drop a bomb and kind of ask a question and kind of take it somewhere else, because I'm like, well, our crowd, unfortunately, everybody right now is talking about perimenopause, because there's a bunch. Most of the people in our
Yes.
group
Sure.
are in perimenopause.
Sure.
And we need to talk about
And-
it.
And then there's a few guys that are getting yelled at, and so I just but they talk about it, which is fine. But eventually, I'm like, let's talk about something else.
There are more things. Yes.
But I find it really hard, when I'm with normies, to just kind of and for me, like as a neurodivergent person, it is very tempting for me to like to mask and to code switch and to do all that stuff, where I just go along with whatever's happening. But then I use all my energy and I'm miserable. So it's I think trying to find I don't really know what the answer is. I think the answer is leaving early. The Irish goodbye, I think, is the answer to all those things. Well, we could sit here and talk forever, but our time is just about up. Tell us about your show again, and
So I am Lover Girl, 5 Unusual Stories About Love.
and you're over at
I'm at Venue 7 School of Contemporary Dance. It's a beautiful theater. I'm loving it.
upstairs from the gelati, and
Downstairs. Is it downstairs?
well, no, aren't you like up like off the parking lot, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
the
you're right.
gelati's right there.
You know, it's because we changed entrances
Okay.
recently, and we're
Okay.
on the other side. We're not in the parking
Okay.
lot anymore because of the construction.
Okay, so people
Yes.
should go see that. Patrick,
Fake Spear at Venue 6, Tom Hendry Warehouse. One man vaudeville comedy Shakespeare show, and also Filthy Fake Spear, which is at a new venue, Venue 24, called Ace Arts. And yeah, it's just a really
is Ace Art
Dirty
in
show.
which building is Ace Art
it's
in?
on Princess,
Yeah,
Venue 24.
just around the corner from
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. If you like follow there's like a line of venues, and it's
Yeah.
like at the tail end of them.
Yeah.
But both shows got 4 stars, and Filthy Fake Spear is just a party. It's
Yeah.
just us all hanging out together and then taking turns making each other laugh.
Brad, everybody loves you already. Everybody that's been listening, but tell us about the show again.
Yeah. Sounds from the Meat Machine. It's at Venue 5, Son of Warehouse. So that's the upstairs one as well. And my show is like a little like funny lecture about music. And I got a really nice comment the other day that said that they said they felt like they were just hanging out with me for an hour. So that was
Beautiful.
Yeah. Wow. Paying to be your friend. That is great. Well, thank you all so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
and
you.
I am going to go off and move the meat, the
meat
raw-
machine.
the raw meat, the actual meat machine. But thanks so much. I love having an interesting, authentic conversation, and thanks to you for tuning in. I think this might be the end of the line, but there's lots of stuff, and lots of these. If it gets warm again, it's nice today, but if it gets warm again, most of these venues are air conditioned. So
Yeah.
Yep.
so thank you, and thank you so much, Tamara, Robert, Patrick, Hercamp, and Brad Torres. Thanks.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you.